Hello there, everyone. It's Mr. Rops.
And Mr. Heilman.
Right, and we are going to solve equations today, including fractions, because we got to work with those fractions because they are numbers too, and they have feelings. You can't not like the fractions. They are friendly. Okay, but before you do that, we want you to make sure you remember. We want you to actively listen to these
I'm glad
videos.
it says actively listen right there. And this is what I would do. If I were a student, if I were you, I would go and I would try to do this problem, even though it's really hard and you're going to make a mistake. In fact, that's why you should try it. Because if you make a mistake and you can't do it, the chances of you remembering what we're going to talk about in this video increase exponentially.
Right. And there's brain research that's not just your gut. There's brain research that proves that.
So go make mistakes.
Right. So pause the video right here. Go make some mistakes. Go give it a try. Make sure your eraser's handy. Okay, are they back now?
They're definitely back.
All right, they're back. I hope you did pause it. All right, so now it's our turn, okay? We're going to find the value of the variable that satisfies the equation. Well, what we've just done in the previous videos, we talked about the first step in taking these scenarios is getting the common denominator. And the common denominator here is quite straightforward because I got a 4 and a 3. It's going to be 12. Okay? And then the next thing that we did on that previous video, if you remember, is we multiply both sides of the equation by 12. Because in algebra, if you do the one side of the equation, you have to do it to the other side of the equation. And you have to distribute it in. And so I'm going to go 12 times d over 4 plus 12 times 2 is equal to 12 times 3d plus 2 over 3 plus 4 times 12. Okay, and now here's where the power of this strategy works. All these strategies, I can cancel out all my fractions here. Why can I cancel that out?
Well, I know when I talk to a lot of students, everyone kind of forgets that fractions are actually division, right? So when I've got d over 4 as a fraction, that's d divided by 4. So when I then multiply by a 12,
right?
Those are we have opposite. It's multiplication and division, so
right.
they cancel out.
Right. And I also see a 1 there.
Yeah.
If I multiply things by 1, they go away. And so they cancel each other out. They are inverses of each other. Powerful thing. And so they happily cancel out. And so this one here also cancels out. I get a 4. So when I do that, I get 3d plus 12 times 2 is 24 is equal to, now I have to distribute this. Be careful there. 12d plus 8 plus 48. Did I make any mistakes yet? Am I good?
But I hope not. I'm checking now. It's okay.
So 3d, let's plus 24 equals 12d. Let's collect like terms. 56.
Good job.
Okay. Now, I, for whatever reason, always like to bring my variables to the left-hand side.
You're going to wind up with negative d's, though.
True. So let's bring things to the right-hand side. Let's subtract my d's, my 3d's.
Okay.
And so that gives me 9d plus 56. So, that looks messy. Let's do 24. Subtract the 56. Oh, now I'm going to need some help on that one. Now here's a quick little trick. If you go command spacebar, you can do 24 minus
I'm learning.
minus
Mr. Robs.
56, and it's negative 32. So negative 32 is 9d divided by 9, and d is going to be d equals negative 32 over 9.
You can just leave our answer like that?
Love that. Mathematicians love improper fractions like that.
Okay.
You don't make it like 4 3/9 or whatever it is. I can't even do it in my head. Just leave it. Mathematicians think it's silly to go further. Unless you're an engineer, because then you actually have to get a number at the end. But if you're a mathematician, it depends who you want to be today. You want to be a mathematician or an engineer or a chemist or a physicist?
I think we're mathematicians today.
Today. We're going to leave it as such. So here is our solution. We do all that algebra work. There is our solution. The key is cancel out. And this step takes some extra writing, but it is so beneficial in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the clarity of after you did that work in red there, now it's a much easier problem.
Right. This is the key. You want to get to this step here. That's when it gets to the things you recognize. All right, so now let us go to try the sketch approach. You haven't had that. All right, so when we go to the sketch, it's 2.40.
Sorry.
That's okay. There it is. Okay, so again, left side, right side. Now my computer doesn't know D very well. So as opposed to D, I'm going to put x divide 4 plus 2. That's my left-hand side of the equation. And the other side equals parenthesis, and I have to put in parentheses to get it all over a fraction. Divide it by 3, and then I get plus 4. Okay, and so just remember, we're going to make the one side an equation to graph, another side an equation to graph. And we end up with that. And I'm going to zoom a little bit. Let's see in there. Oh. There's our answer there. Okay, and so I'm going to take a quick shot of that, make a sketch quickly. 3.556. Put on my axis here. Come on, there we go. Axis. I know my lines look kind of like this. And the other one looks more stretched out. Intersections there. That seems reasonable.
Okay.
And come here, computer. There we go. Here's my intersection point. That point was negative 3.56, negative 3.56, comma 1.11. Notice 3 significant figures means I have only 3 numbers that are counting.
Okay. But is that really the same number that we got?
It is. So we want to check that. That's a good question. Oh, come back.
Because that's a fraction.
That is a fraction. If I check this value, let me move this out of the way. If I go negative 32 divided by 9, I get 3.555.
You are right, Mr. Ryan.
And so that's a good thing to do, because a lot of times people go, oh, it's not the same, but it is an equivalent value. And so then down here, I will say x equals negative 3.56. I should actually say approximately because it's no longer exact. And there's the solution. And I know that this is y was equal to d over 4 plus 2. And this one is y is equal to 3d plus 2 over 3 plus 4. And there's our sketch. Quick and easy.
Nice.
Okay. Again, I'm not labeling things. I'm just making it reasonable. That looks like it, and I can tell quickly that you know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Super. Okay. I'm going to skip the table, but you can do the table, and it won't be nice. Oh, actually, I'm not going to skip the table. I remembered what I want to do here. We're going to make a table because the problem is we don't have a nice value. And what do you do when that happens? So let me copy that, and we'll put it here. And it needs it to be x1. 1. And then you're going to copy this one. Okay, x1. Okay, so now we know if I go negative 5 and negative 4, negative 3, and so on. Because my answer, I can see, is not a nice value, I'll never find it from my table. That's unreasonable.
Skips right over it.
Right. But what I can see is when I start to look at this line, 1 and 0.666, they're close. 1.525 and 1.666, they're close. When I start in this area here, they're as close as they're going to be. These values start to get further apart. These values start to get further apart.
Okay.
And so what is going on is like this distance, those values are describing this distances.
Oh, right. So as those two lines get closer and closer together, well, we're just comparing the 2 points,
Exactly.
right? With the same x values, and we're looking at the y values essentially. And as they get closer and closer together, we can see on that graph. So it must be in between there, in between -4 and -3.
So we can see it's in between -3 and -4. And so maybe I want to go -3.5, just guessing, and look how close it's getting there.
All right. Yeah.
And this is just kind of an estimate approach, right? Trial and error with an estimate. And the technology does all the hard work. You just have to do the thinking. Like it does the computations for you. All right. Super. 3 approaches to solving a question. Number 2, this one you need to try on your own right now.
Good
Try
luck.
it. Good luck.
Have fun.
Have fun.